Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you about organizing. So have you ever thought to yourself like, man, I just can't get on top of it. I just can't stay organized. Organizing's hard. Or I think something works but then it doesn't. I'm not sure why. I've been there. I've thought about all those things. And it's taken me a long time to try to figure out what works in my home. And I came across something. It was a YouTube video by a lady whose name is Cass from Clutterbug. If you want to check her channel out, I'm not sponsored or anything. This is just how I learned about organizing, and it made sense in my head. I'm sure there was more out there to teach me, but this one, it worked and it made sense in my head. So I wanted to share it with you, and I'm not going to explain it the way she does. She explains it in terms of bugs, and I can't keep those straight. So I'm just going to explain it, okay? And I hope you can follow. Right? Here we go. There are 4 types of organizing styles. So the majority of us get stuck in one style, and that style may or may not actually be what fits or suits us best. That might not actually be our style, but that's the most common style that you see at on Pinterest, or you see at the Container Store, or in the organization section at Target, or right. So what all these are, you kind of can get stuck because the marketing is so loud in one category, when really that might not be your category at all. So these 4 categories are actually split into different categories within themselves. So the first 2 are macro organizers. The other 2 are micro organizers. So if you think about macro and micros are people who like to organize by detail. So they might have things color coordinated. For instance, for me, this is my filing cabinet. I have tabs for everything, right? Healthcare. And healthcare can be broken down into Amber Healthcare, Erasto Healthcare, Sophie Healthcare, on and on and on with all my kids. My house could be broken down into utility bills, internet bills, cell phone bills, yard landscaping projects, house projects. I mean, you could go as detailed as you want. Okay, so that's micro. Now macro is more of a visual person. So if you think about someone in your life, or maybe even a movie, you see these people who say, a lot of college students are like this. Like, this is my organized mess. They have like a stack here and a stack here, and stacks of things. But they like it like that. They can see it. It's macro. They can see what those stacks are, right? So that's macro. Macro is big groupings. Micro is detailed, okay? Now that we know those 2 types, the second breakdown is whether you're a visual person or like a hideaway person. So a macro visual is the person I described, where they had huge stacks. Like, their art studio has like all of their art supplies all over the place. And you come in and you're feeling like overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh. But for them, they know exactly, that's my yarn stash, that's my clay stash, that's my painting stash. My paintbrushes are under here. To them, it makes sense. They can see it. They're all grouped, categorized in some form, so they know where their stuff is, but it's out, so they can see it. Okay, so they're a visual macro. Now, if they're a hide a macro, so they like to hide things away, but they're a macro person, they're the ones who organize with big bins. So instead of having a file cabinet with all like the bills broken up like me, they have one container. They're done with the bill, they stick it all in, right? At the end of the year, if they don't need anything, whatever they keep like their taxes. Whatever they don't need, they shred, right? It's just one big bin, okay? They organize their kids' school stuff like that, right? So they want to like keep a lot of it, but they don't organize it in these tidy little binders or scrapbooks. They just throw it in a bin a couple times a year. If them or the kids want to look at them, they pull it out and say, oh, look how cute this is. Look how cute this is. But it's all in a big stack, okay? It's a macro, but it's hiding versus macro that's visual. Micro, here we go, micro. Micro detailed hiding is like me with my filing cabinet. I have all the details, but it's hidden inside a cabinet, inside my filing cabinet. Visual micro, they're the ones that have the command centers at their houses. They have like their menus, their grocery lists, a slot for incoming mail, a slot for outgoing mail, a slot for please do this, bill type things, or call the kids at school. So that's the 4 types. 2 macros, 2 micros, 2 visuals, and 2 hide that want to hide things away. Now, you can fall into any of these categories. Okay, and understanding these different categories are going to help you organize your home. So for me, I typically am a hide person. I like things hide away. So I made this little section where I thought I was going to put like my bills to be filed, ones that I have to take care of, my planner up here. But what has happened is that if it's out of sight, it's out of mind. And my husband's that way too. So he started putting things on our microwave. And so our microwave, at the top of it, it's clean now besides, those 2 papers. But usually it's like stacked to the fullest. That ended up being our drop zone of things that we need to take care of. So it's not out of sight. So we remember to do it. But then when company comes over, I don't want them to see all that. So then I start throwing it up here. So then I have like all these loose papers that now I have to take care of and deal with, right? So for me, I can't put everything in a big bin because I get confused which ones I need to take care of, which ones I need to file. But so here's what we also did. Let me show you just a second. So last year we remodeled our office and I put these 3 things here. Okay, like a command center. So that way I could have one bin. This is the bills I got to take care of. These are ones that have already been done. These are for like the kids' school stuff, school pictures, doctor notes, whatever. And I had little labels on them. I tried really hard to be like organized. The problem is that it was too much work for me to be that detailed. To take something from upstairs where I showed you that system, to bring it all the way down here to check and to remind myself, oh yeah, those bills. So this is what's happened. It's gotten disorganized. We got just a bunch of stuff just stuck in there. No rhyme or reason. Most of them are bills because anything that we need to take care of is upstairs in that other pile or on the microwave so we see it. So anyways, I share this not to try to show my embarrassing mess, but to explain to you that organization depends on what your style is. So in your home, if something's not working for you, it's not necessarily because you're just a dirty person or you just can't keep your house clean. It could be because you have a different style and this organization is just too much. You have to find something else. You have to figure out what your style is. Maybe you're a bin person. Maybe you're a micro person, but your system's the opposite. Okay, I have one more example. Kids' toys. Okay, I have a family member that they have a kid toy box. Toys go in there. If it fits in there, they can have it. If it doesn't fit, it's gone, right? That's what it is. My kids don't like that. They have to dump it all out and they have to pull everything out to try to find their toy that they want to do. But it works for their family because that's their boundary and they can easily scoop everything up, put it back in at a moment's notice. Again, their cleaning ends up being, 20 minutes at most if they dump everything out and if nobody's helping, which their kids are old enough to help clean up. So for me, I had these 4 bins. Okay, and I have little people. You guys have seen these cute little Fisher-Price little people. So I have collected sets of these over the years for my kids. And I tried to keep the sets together. The problem is that nobody else can do it but me. Okay? Because apparently I was the only one that was detailed enough, micro organizer enough to do this. So here's my tip. If you have multiple people in your home with different styles of organizing, you go for the macro and you go for the visual, because otherwise they're not going to work. My husband will never ever remember which bills go in which files. I know this because he constantly asks me, where is this? And I'll be like, it's in the house folder. Where is this? It's in the car folder. Like, it shouldn't be that hard. But his brain isn't wired that way. So that kind of organization doesn't work for him. He'll never get there. Never. Like, he's not built that way. He's not trying to be messy or difficult or unhelpful or unorganized. He's more of a visual macro. That's why it's sitting on the microwave. So for me, I could get past the fact that they're not in groupings. So our farm is mixed with our fire station. I can handle that, right? I can say, okay, if it's a little person, it goes in one of these. Put all little people in here, okay? I don't care. Just as long as all little people are in there, that's where they go. And he understands, okay, I can do that. Hot Wheel cars do not go in little people buckets. He can do that. But to ask him to be too detailed, no. His mind's not set up that way. So, for you, think about your style. Think about, are you a visual? Are you a hideaway? Are you a macro? Are you micro? Are you a macro when it comes to your kids' stuff, but you're a micro when it comes to bills? You can have some crossover. That's very, very normal. But the majority of your style falls within those 4 categories. So, how you organize your kitchen. For me, I don't have to have like little dividers. Like, this is for my spatula. This is for my tongs. This is for my measuring cups. Some people do. I don't have to have that. I can have a drawer. As long as the drawer can open and close and not too full and I can see, then that's fine with me. Of course, I don't want it overflowing. But if I can see what's going on, they can just be thrown in there. They don't have to have their individual cubbies. That's fine with me. So it crosses over in many areas of organizing. So think about it. If you like this video and want more real life tips about these 4 different categories, let me know, because I can break it down and show you this is what a micro hideaway looks like, or this is what a micro visual looks like. I can break the 4 down for you. And it's difficult sometimes to clearly see the difference. But if you can wrap your mind around it, all of a sudden you're like, oh, that's why the sticky notes don't work for me. Oh, that's why color code doesn't work for me with 12 pens. I don't want to carry all that around, and I can't remember which color goes to which family, or, it totally starts to make sense. Or, oh my gosh, I've just been throwing all these books into this one bin, and I can't find what I need. So apparently I need to go a little bit more detailed. So, yes, Hope you like this video. Tell me if you do. Tell me if you don't. Anything helps for me to make better videos, and we can share our experiences together, because life is hard enough, so we might as well have some fun together, alright? Hopefully I explained this easy peasy lemon squeezy. I hope so. Alright, I'll catch you in my next video. Bye!